Hi, listeners. Welcome to Page to Picture. I'm your host, Kim.
And I am your host, Tiff. And earlier this week, during our Perks of Being a Wallflower episode, we featured our ARC Corner of the Week.
And today they are here. Dani Ryan is an author duo writing about close-knit families and friends and their heartwarming, messy journeys to finding love with lots of laugh-out-loud moments.
Yes, best known for their romantic comedy series, The Morelli Sisters. They love writing books that have swoon, spice, banter, slow burns, and sexy alpha heroes and strong heroines.
Please join us in welcoming Dani and Ryan. Hi, you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I love you guys are so cute, like the unison. It's like it sounds so good. I don't know why.
I love it.
How are you ladies today?
We're good. We're really excited about this. How are you guys?
We are doing good. We are exhausted. We had an earlier recording earlier this morning for us. I think we were both up at 7 this morning, which is early for us. But we're good. We are excited to talk about this book and to have you guys on this podcast. So thank you both for taking the time out and being here with us today. We really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Okay, so before we jump into your books, we kind of want to take it back. So how did the author Dani Ryan come to be? Because I mean, there's two of you, obviously, right? So how did it come to be, I guess?
So we always talked about wanting to write more individually. I think that was just like their initial thought and the assumption. And it became just like a conversation. Neither one of us had actually done it until I think one of us sat down and actually just started going on a laptop typing. And then I think it was me, honestly. Yeah, I think it was you. And I figured, I want to jump into this. And that's Dani. So much. Yeah. And I got really excited about it. And I said, let's see if I could do this. Let's see if it would be good. And then I remember I actually sent it to Ryan and she put her little spin on things. She edited it. She went through, she added. And I remember I looked at her and I said, you just made this better. Yeah. Like a lot better. And she said, okay, maybe I'm not like the person that should do this. Like maybe you need to write. And I was like, oh, okay. Never really occurred to us that we should just do it together.
Yeah.
And then so I did it and we swapped again and she did her thing. And I was like, nope, still makes it better. I think we just need each other. And
oh my God. I love
yeah. And so then we talked about it some more. It's something we just do a lot. We talk about stuff a lot. And then fast forward 3 times, and I think it was maybe a year, or no, it was 2 years ago now. And we were like, okay, we're gonna do this. And we're gonna just sit down and actually do this. And then it came to be. I mean, otherwise we really didn't plan it. It's just more spur of the moment. You know what? Let's do it. Yeah. And now we have a lot of shared documents and way too many conversations about this stuff.
No, that is crazy. I know, that is crazy. That's actually cool. And that's probably when the best things happen is when it's not really planned, when it's just hey, doing something and you're like, can you just take a look at this? They add their little notes and it's well, you're actually really good. So hold on, let me bounce back each other. And that's kind of when the best something happens really great is when it comes unplanned, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I agree.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. So what influenced your guys' writing?
Probably just our dynamic, really has an influence on it, especially in this series for the Morelli sisters. And we're pretty we're both very, I want to say lighthearted, and very easygoing. And that's where we're okay, you know what? It's got to be rom-com because that is more, lighthearted fun. And it kind of captures just our vibes, I think. And I mean, we're all really complex, humans and very dynamic. But yeah, so you'll see that in the book. Yeah. And there's other layers to us and even the characters. But that's really where we almost live in that easygoing, you know what, fun state. So rom-com just was a natural fit for us, I think.
Oh my God, I love a good rom-com. I mean,
so do
I love a good rom-com movie. I love a good rom-com book. It always makes me so giddy when I read these. I'm just I love the feeling of reading a rom-com, and I feel like nothing can be a rom-com, like a good rom-com. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the feel good moments. And, you for movies, especially, or even like TV series, you want to keep going back and watching them over again. And I find myself doing that. And you can watch it 999 times and it's still funny and it still hits and it's like, oh my gosh. And I would watch it again in that same moment. So
yeah, you're like, I don't care. I love it. You're like,
Yeah.
I can predict everything that's going to be said already because I've watched it 100 times and I still love it to this day.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so I mean, Tiff and I are sisters, and we have such different views on things, especially when it comes to books. Our genres are very different, so I feel like if her and I were to have a book, it'd be so unhinged. So
weird.
yeah, it'd be so weird. So, my question is like, is it? Well, obviously, I don't think it is because you guys seem to get each other so well. I mean, is it hard writing a book together sometimes, or do you guys just like flow so well with each other and your vibe is like the same that it's easy to write a book together?
I think it's surprisingly easy. Yeah, I think we have our moments where we'll have an off day. But for the most part, I think we're usually on the same page.
Yeah, and on those moments, we just know, like, okay, it's not
Today's
happening.
not the day.
Yeah.
You're like, come, let's put a pin in it and we will come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But otherwise, I think it's pretty easy. There's that talking about it thing that comes up, like I said, a lot, and we talk about it. And we kind of almost know what we want to do. And if we don't know, we're comfortable enough to like pick up the thread that was started from the other person. And I think that's what makes it so easy for us. And it sometimes like Danielle takes something in a totally different direction than I originally might have thought when I walked away. And I come to it and I'm like, you know what? I love this. Or like, okay, wait, talk to me about why you did this. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I love this.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, I like, so Tiff is very fantasy, romanticy. She loves like the fantasy books, and I'm more of like the dark romance or the rom-com, like not fantasy, but just,
Contemporary.
Yeah. And so I when I was talking to her about it, I was like, if we decided to do like a fun little thing and put a book together, it would be so chaotic. And
It would be so weird.
You're like all over the world.
Yeah, you're like 5 different people in one, and it's like
That's
it
so
would not
funny.
work.
No, it's funny because we actually get that. Because when we read, we actually do read
Different
things.
Yeah.
We come together with some things, but for the most part, we read different. I will pick up a romantasy sometimes, or I'll pick up a rom-com. It just depends on like what I'm looking for. But I mean, for the most part, I do read the romantasy stuff. And I will read even like a fiction book, like a Danielle Steele, honestly, or Nora Roberts. And I think that's where we come together. But she'll pick up more of like a romantic suspense,
Yeah.
or maybe like a cozy mystery. So it differs definitely. But then we come together and we both like that rom-com, so I think it works.
Yeah, for books, we definitely get you guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, and then, but like even for us, like our movies are so like
They're
Tiff is
so
like,
different.
yeah, like if you were to ask us like what movies are you guys currently watching right now, I'll be like, oh, I'm watching, I don't know, some romance whatever series, and my sister will be like, oh no, I'm in my like Lord of the Rings
Like
era
I've watched
right
The
now.
Hobbit like 5 times in the last 2 months. Like that's my vibe right now. She's like, that's you, and I'll let you have that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's cute. Tell me when you're done.
Yeah. So yeah, but I love that you guys find that middle ground and use that to your advantage in like working together and putting it together. So that's really cool. And I think it's really rare when you see, because sometimes I'll pick up books and I have where it's like more than one author that's worked on it. And I always found it so interesting how they could do that. So being able to hear it from your guys' perspective, how you guys are able to find that middle ground and use it to your advantage is like super cool. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
What is your guys' writing or creative process like? Like, do you guys sit with each other and brainstorm an idea and then kind of one person will write and the next person will pick up? Or do you guys like brainstorm separately and then try to put it together? Like, what's the process you guys have?
I want to say it kind of depends, but for the most part, we brainstorm together and we kind of like feed off of each other's like ideas, right?
Yeah. I mean, she'll say something, and I actually remember this with book 3. I said,
I want to do an accidental pregnancy. And she said, like, I was like, oh no. She said, yeah, she was like, oh no. And I was like, okay, well, I really want to do an accidental pregnancy. I think it might be a good idea. And she said, like, okay, well, how can we work this? I think we should do maybe like roommates to lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of just like went from there, and we just kept like pulling on it, and it all just. And she's like, "Oh, okay, this is good. He has a secret crush," and I'm like, "Oh," and then like so you just kind of like feed off of each other. That's like kind of the way our brainstorming does. I think just it's that talking about it. I mean, honestly, because I don't know if either one of us has like the most amazing idea that we'll like fight for, you know?
Right, right. You're like, this is how this book is gonna be. There's no other way.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. And then sometimes we're just like, okay, well now I like don't know where to take it, or like where's it gonna go? And then thank goodness the other person will like swoop in and.
Oh no, it totally works out. I mean, you're reading these series and the storyline, everything, it all works together so well. I think you guys both you write your stories very well. You put you can tell there's a lot of emotion in it. There's a lot of thought process that goes within each character and your stories. And you guys have written I was like, let's check out like all their, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys have written a lot of stories. It's impressive. I was like, holy crap. And before I read Better Left Unsaid, I was like, oh no, let me go back to book 1 of the Morelli sisters and let's binge read these books. And I'm so happy that I did because it's so good. I really enjoyed it. I love your guys' writing style so much. So I just want to give credit where credit is due. You guys do such a good job, and you can tell that you guys work so well together to create these stories and these books. So well done to both of you, definitely.
Oh my gosh, that means so much to us. Thank you. And I love that you went back and binged it all.
I was like, book 4, I cannot just jump in. I have to start at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I know like you can, but I also know that some people like to go back, but we're never sure is it going to happen or not. But that's really nice then to like hear that.
I love that. Okay, so let's talk about Better Left Unsaid. So this is the 4th book in the series. Tell us about the book and give us some detail about the series for those that are listening that don't know about the Morelli Sisters series.
Sure. So I guess I'll talk about the series first. Basically, it follows 4 sisters in New York who are right. We kind of said it, I think, in like book 1, they're like heiresses of a fashion magazine empire. So they're kind of like you'd think like divas, but they have their own issues. They each in turn find love and go through, their own struggles and hurdles to get there. Book 4 is special because it is the 2 best friends, Rhea Morelli and her best friend, Dom DeLuca.
Daddy Dom.
yes, Daddy Dom. And they are woven through the stories from book 1. Because he is her best friend, you see him, and he's, you almost can't be best friends with someone without, especially when they're such a tight-knit group of sisters, without being friends, at least friendly with the sisters.
Yes.
So he's involved, and you kind of see this little thread, and everyone wondered like what's going on there, and is there something going on there? So we held it off to book 4, probably just to torture ourselves, I think, but and basically this is the time where they get to come together and have their big moment. And yeah, I mean, this one takes them from best friends to friends with benefits.
Yes.
Where they have this secret relationship going on. And ultimately, we find out that he's kind of been crushing, or more than that, probably loving on her for so long. And yeah, so it's almost like she's oblivious to it for a second. She has no clue what's going on. Until she does, and their journey unfolds. But they definitely have like progress, and there's little moments while it's standalone that you can kind of see from like the other books. You don't really know what's happening, but there's definitely those hints. So
yeah, I definitely feel like I'm so glad that I actually read the first 3, because I feel like if I had read this as by itself, not that it's not good as a standalone, but I love a book that I love a series where each book focuses on a couple, right? Or a
Mm-hmm.
main character, and then they're kind of intertwined within the other books. So I love starting it on book 1 and then finally getting to book 4. It's almost like, oh my God, this is like what we've been waiting for. Like that's how I felt.
It's
and I feel like
the
that's
same vibes as when Colin and Penelope's episode, like this season came out of
in
Bridgerton.
we don't know if you
'Cause
watched Bridgerton, but yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's like
I
the
watched
same
it
vibes.
and I waited for that, so I get you.
Yeah, because like throughout the entire other seasons, we see them and they have their little moments and stuff, and then finally their season came, and it's like you're so invested in these people, you're so excited for them, and just happy that they finally are having their moment. It's like that same vibe. I love it.
Yes, that's exactly right, Tiff. That's exactly what I was thinking. So on top of the Morelli sisters, you also have the Writer Brothers, which is 4 books that you guys published back in 2024. And then you also have 2 standalone rom-coms. So safe to say you guys have been very busy. How do you guys come up with these series and these characters? I mean, let's, I guess, start with the Writer Brothers series. Like, did you guys just decide like all at once, okay, we're going to do 4 books for them, and then you jumped into the Morelli sisters? Like, how did those series come to be?
So the Writer Brothers is actually a contemporary romance series.
Okay.
When we started this, we figured we would do contemporary romance. So it's definitely a different style, different tone of voice. And the only thing we really knew was we wanted to do brothers.
Yeah.
We thought we'd do something different. We thought, we're sisters, yes, but brothers it's so hot, honestly. It's always
Yeah,
so true.
hot. And at the time, when we had done it, I was personally like reading a lot of like military romances, and I thought like that's kind of interesting. So it kind of took on its own form, and we figured if we're going to do this, let's do like military romances. We could do brothers. And I remember she had asked, well, how many books are we going to do? She likes to ask the hard questions.
She's like, let's get into the numbers before we start.
Exactly. I gotta know and like plan, Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Yeah, plan all the brothers. So we had decided, 4.
Yeah.
3 felt like too little. 5 felt like too many, and we were like, all right, we'll do 4.
It's a number. It's a magic number.
Yeah. So we went with the 4, and then I think it kind of just like went from there. And it was, all the brothers kind of fed off one another, and then it just flowed. But yeah, that was definitely our first
foray.
Yeah. Into writing, and it is different. And we always tell people that when they ask, we always say like, well, it's definitely a different type of writing, that we do now. So yeah, but there's that. And then we did do the summer rom-com, and then we did have the holiday one too.
Yeah, the summer one was just like, there's like vibes from summer that I think are unmatched. And we were like, you know what? Like this needs a moment because just, it's just different. Yeah. So we ran with that. And then Dani was like, okay, but we have to I want to do rom-com. I want this to be like different. And I was like, okay, let's do it, And more, almost even like the way we talk, it's like more natural, it's like easier. And we're like, that's definitely more fun.
There was actually a scene in the summer book, and they're in the car together, all girlfriends just in the car, getting to the resort. And when we were writing it, or when I was writing it, I said like, I like this banter, this like quick wit, this easy going with the flow, because it's very us. And it was the first time we were really seeing that with all the girls in the books, because before then it had been all guys really and the brothers together. So it was a different style. And that I think was when we decided, rom-com is really going to be
time for like a
transition. Oh, that's so crazy. Like that's kind of crazy because when you had wrote the Writer Brothers series, if you hadn't done your standalone rom-coms, would you guys have written the Morelli sisters?
I don't know. I mean, if we did, it would have been definitely different.
Different.
We did talk about like, okay, what would be next? Like, what's going to be our next big thing? And we knew we wanted to touch sisters. We wanted to like go into that realm and like touch on that topic because it's not something that's, written about often. And like, there's just like that different vibe to it. And
it's a dynamic that I don't think you can get from.
Yeah. So while
the
it's not
brothers.
as hot, it's definitely like more fun in a way.
Yeah, no, it's hot. Like, no, it is. Do not let them fool you, everybody. It is hot. There is spice. I mean, don't let, but no, I completely understand what you mean. There's a difference when it's like a brother series and then a sisters
exactly,
series.
exactly. So, you know, we knew like we wanted to kind of get into sisters, and then it was just like, well, okay, well, let's just see. And then, once we got through that summer romance, we're like, okay, you know, this is going to be like different. And like, how do we want to do it? And then it just kind of came to pass. I think.
Love that. That's actually really
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I think there's like a moment in all the books. I was going to say, the sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, honestly, there was a time where we did something like that. Like we had like a sleepover. We like did a slumber party and, one night at the end of the summer, I think it was, and we brainstormed, and that was really how it came to be. And then we're like, okay, this is like such a thing. And yes, we are adult women and like, it's okay to do this. And we're like, we're going to normalize this for just a second because like, it's okay to like get together and do crazy stuff and like, you know, be goofy. And it was something I think like that's definitely a commonality in all the books. There's always that like little moment where they're all together and mostly with sleepovers. So.
Yeah, and it's always that time I think where they also need like a sleepover. It's like sister time, and I think there was in one of the books it was Allie. She had said like sister time, like I need like a sleepover, and we kind of do that. And I think we wanted to pick that up and put it in the books.
Yeah,
So.
I love that. We need to have a sister time. We don't do anything like that.
Come on. Let's sleep over and watch Lord of the Rings.
You would never. She's just trying to lure me in, guys. I promise you. She would never.
No, we have to for future episodes. We are going to do a Lord of the Rings episode.
I know.
So we have to
it's
do
for my
it.
birthday month, and I told her, I said, you have no choice but to watch and read these books. So
I was like, okay, that will be our sister moment.
Yeah, that's our sister time.
Okay, so your ARC readers want to know, and this was a very demanded question. Where can they get themselves a Dom? I mean, he is obviously a fan favorite. He is Daddy Dom. Your ARC readers, your readers love him. I love him. But my question is he your favorite MMC that you guys have written in the Morelli sister series?
That's a tough one. Well, I will confess something, and I don't know if I've ever said it before, but
we have a
Dani
first.
Actually, birthed this idea of Dom. She did. She's laughing because I think I've said it before, but I don't know if I've ever said it publicly. But she has birthed this idea of him in book 1. I remember when she brought him in as the character. She's gonna have a best friend. It's gonna be a guy, and I was like, oh, okay, fun. And then I read it, and so I'm right there with all the readers the whole time. Every time he talked, I swooned when I was just reading
She's like, where is she going with this guy?
I was like, I love Dom, and I would be goofy and giggle, and she's like, I was like, I just love him, in everything he says, and it wasn't even significant. And then at some point I said to her, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help you with this one and writing that book because you do him so good. So
I know. I would write something. She'd leave a comment. She'd say kicking my feet. And I was like, okay, but did it come out good? And she was like, I don't know. I'd have to reread it. I think I'm obsessed
She's
with it.
like, I'm giggling.
She's like, I don't know. She's like, hold on.
So I love Dom, honestly, just as much. And so what was I going to say? I don't even know.
She's like, what was the question again?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
You brought up Dom, so she's all blushy now.
So it's safe to say Dom is the favorite MMC for
definitely probably mine. I mean, I love Brady in book 3, but for me, Dom, I don't know, you, I mean.
I think I loved Brady when we were writing book 3, and when we had kind of birthed him in book 2, Brady was my favorite. I liked that he was for lack of a better word, very ballsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted what he wanted, and that was it. And I liked that he was just well, I'm going to wait for you to want it too, or nothing happens. And I
love that. I love that in a story. I literally laugh so hard every time something like that happens. And I'm just like, this is so funny to me, but I love that kind of dynamic.
Yeah, there's that possessiveness, and it's unmatched, and I love it in a book. Maybe not in real life, I'm not sure, but yeah. In the book, I was just I love Brady. But when we were writing Maria and Dom's story, I fell in love with Dom because he is sensitive, but he's also pretty possessive, and he's dominant, but he's also so caring. And then you see him with Isabella and how he is with her. And I think any man with a like kid, honestly, and when they're so sweet, it's like swoony to me. So I think Dom became my favorite.
Yeah. For any story when there's like when the male character is that father figure, like not the actual father, but is like there and there's that bond between them. I was like, this is so cute. Like the bracelets. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. I love it. No, I love Dom. I agree with everybody who's read this book. Like Daddy Dom for everybody. Please, please. We love him. I think everybody loves him.
Yes. So in Better Left Unsaid, what was your favorite scene to write?
That's a hard one.
And why is it the chess scene? No.
Yeah. Well, this book took like a lot of forms before we got to this version.
Wow.
So there were like a lot of really good scenes, but it had a lot of false starts as well. But I don't know, favorite scene. I mean, the chess scene is like really iconic. I think for me, my favorite scene was the emotion when he finally confessed his feelings to her.
Yeah.
I
really love that. Yeah, I mean, it's just raw and like in a way that you don't see, you know, normally. And through the whole book, he's like a little angsty and he's a little like, you know, quiet about it. And, you know, he wants to. Is he going to say something? He's not even sure.
Yeah. But he like keeps it to himself. He's like, oh my God, I'm breaking my own, like the rules, but like, what am I? And for him to finally like admit it, it's so, it makes my heart like so happy.
For sure mine. I don't know about you. I think for me, I did enjoy the confession scene because I was honestly waiting for that because I wanted to know, you know, and I know we're writing it, so it sounds so stupid, but I wanted to know, you know, how is this going to like come out? How is it going to like work? But for me, I think it was sort of connected to that. It was the part where he read the article and then he basically went to her and said, like, just say it. I think that was good to me because you were able to see him finally, in a way, stand up and say, like, this is done. Like, I'm not going anywhere and you're going to say it. And like, that's it. So while he is loyal, and sometimes to a fault, he was also just in that moment very demanding and said exactly what he wanted and wanted her to do the same. So, you never said that before. I'm shocked by that. I would have thought it would have been the chess scene too because I knew you like loved that. The chess scene was fabulous. I'll never look at a chessboard the same way.
Oh no, I will not either. Like,
I
oh
don't
my God,
think anyone will.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my gosh, no. And I feel like that scene, it's such an epitome of rom-coms, right? When you watch these rom-coms and there's always like that scene where they're like chasing after each other, one is confessing their like love for each other, like this is what you're waiting for, you know what I mean? When you're watching these movies and you're just like, this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for one person just to say that like they love you and they want to be with you. So like I think for everybody, like that is a scene that like touches your heart and you're just kind of like, that's what you're waiting for.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a very beautiful scene. Of course, the chess scene. I mean, I have a Lego chess Harry Potter thing I have, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, this is not, we got to put this. I'm like, oh my God.
She said, we have to move this.
I have to move this to my bedroom. Thank you. Okay, so to piggyback off that question, now what was the hardest scene for you guys to write in this book and why?
Oh my gosh, I think I definitely know this one, and it has to be the same one, chapter 1. There's no doubt it was chapter 1. I mean, we had a lot of chapter 1s, and
oh my gosh,
I think it was like 16 or 18. I don't remember anymore. Yeah, we just kept making copies of the file, and it was literally just chapter 1, chapter 1, chapter 1. And I remember I was like, when can I delete all of these? How do we know that this is the start of the book? For a while, it was like we would literally write 5,000 words or 10,000. And we got to a point where it was 15,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, this is done. It's it. Like, we're running with it. And then I was writing it, and she was writing it, and we looked at each other, and we were like, no, this isn't doing it justice. And we made another copy. And I was like, this has to be the last one. Yeah. And then it was. And so, yeah, I think chapter 1, it came out amazing. And very happy with it. But yeah, the other ones were definitely.
Yeah, one of them made it into like a bonus material. It's a deleted scene that
Yes.
I think like somewhere on our website or something, or will be, I don't know, but or at the back of the book. I'm not even sure. But that was probably like one of our like more favorite ones. And we were going to Vegas for a second and like starting in Vegas, and I don't know where that was going to go, but that was one. And we really did like that. And we considered that like very strongly. But yeah, for sure. Chapter 1 was the hardest for that reason.
That is so crazy. That's actually really crazy for that. Like, cause that's that's like the beginning of your book. Like that.
I feel like chapter ones are always like chapter ones or prologues are always hard to write out when you're starting. Cause I like my friend writes and I write and I have author friends and stuff. And we always struggle with writing the end, like the main entrance to the story, because we know how everything else is gonna how it works. We have ideas for like the middle and the end, and then the beginning is like, okay, but where do we start?
Yeah.
Like,
how do we get there?
I rewrite prologues and chapter ones so much, so I understand you guys when you said you had like 16 copies of a chapter 1, because like I also have like that many copies of chapter 1s. Like I just rewrite it because it's like you got to find the perfect one, because that's really what captures the reader in the beginning. Like it really gets them into the story. So yeah, I get you guys on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes it, even for us, like, you know, like you get like the vision of the characters, I think, too, that way. And it kind of helps like evolve with the story, and you know where you want it to go, but it's like, okay, well, this doesn't necessarily like make sense or do it justice. And that was our big problem too, probably because of what we did to ourselves with books 1 through 3, mentioning these characters. Like we built it up for us, and we wanted to make sure we didn't disappoint any readers. And that like pressure was probably also.
Yeah, she's like no pressure, but there was definitely pressure in doing this.
No pressure, but all the pressure. So getting into some personal reflection here, what has been the most rewarding part about being an author?
I think for both of us, probably, it's seeing everyone read it and enjoy it, and how people have said it makes them smile and it makes their day. And when they're sad, it like literally just makes them happy. And I think that's the best.
Yeah, those reactions.
I think that's what you want. When I read a book and it makes me happy, I mean, that's amazing. And I know that's going to be like one of my favorite books now, because it had that like
ability.
Yeah, to do that to me. So I think that's, you know, what we're.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing like the reactions. It kind of, it like makes it all worthwhile, I feel like. Otherwise, we're just two
people writing and no one's reading anything.
And no one cares. So
She's like, otherwise we're just delusional and we're just writing these books and sending them out for nobody to read.
Well,
like, what are we doing?
It's fun to do it, and I love writing. We, you know, like in a way, I mean, we really write for ourselves.
Yes.
But it's like very gratifying to know that it can like change or you know, a mood, or make someone feel better, or say like, you know what, I actually like feel like I'm seen in this book. And that's something that we've gotten a lot of like DMs about, and reader comments or emails on. And I love that like everyone is willing to be able to be bold enough to say that to us, and you know, not shy enough to like reach out and say like, hey, you got me, like I am like this. Because you know, we are, like I said earlier, I think like all very multifaceted, and there's like different layers to everyone in your dynamic, and we try to do that with the books, and to know that I think like if it hits right for someone or for people is huge. So that's definitely the most gratifying part. I mean, we've gotten it, I think, like I would say almost all through this series. Probably like I'm gonna say only, I don't even know, maybe
I think
only
only, honestly. Yeah, we got a lot of that too, where people said you know, like I see myself in Perla, you know, like I also had struggles and things like that, and you know, it's hard to feel worthy. And I think like seeing that, and then them saying like, but this like made me think like, you know, we are all worthy and things like that. And I think that's important. And, you know, we put that also in our dedications, and we did that for this series, where we put that in there.
Yeah.
Very like inspirational dedications. And I think it's important. It's hard sometimes going every day to remember certain things, but in the books, we want to add that layer of, you know, yes, it's hard, and yes, people go through that, but also know that like it's okay to trust, and you know, it's hard. We see you and we see that like sometimes you don't feel worthy, but like it's there.
Yeah.
So I think that was really important to us, and it's nice that it hit home for people.
I love that. Me too. I love that so much. And I also love like what I love about your guys' book series, especially the Morelli sisters, is that like when you're on your like Goodreads or you're on your like social media and you see the people like tagging you guys and like sharing their reviews, and then as someone who read it, you're reading it and you're just like, oh my God, I found like almost a friend because we both read this book and we both feel the same way. And it's like connecting other readers together because we all love your guys' books. You know what I mean? And I feel like we're part of like a little like
a little community.
Group. Yeah. Just specifically for you guys. So I think that's amazing. I love that. And I love that you guys like pay attention and actually listen to like what your readers are feeling and take the time to do that. And that I'm sure everyone appreciates that. And we love your guys' writing. So
well,
so
thank
sweet.
you.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be nearly as fun, I think, without everyone. So, but we appreciate that. That's nice.
What advice would you both give to people who want to start writing, but they aren't sure how to start?
Just start. I would say just
do it.
3, 2, 1, and go. Start writing right now.
Yeah, honestly,
I
would say don't think too much about it, honestly. Even if it's something that doesn't have a total plot and it doesn't have a plan, just open up your laptop and type and just see what comes from it. Even if it's like nothing that you can use and you end up just deleting it or keeping it and no one ever sees it. I think we had that in the very, very beginning when we started this individually, and then even when we came together. And that was what made it 10 times better, because when you finally get something and then you think about it and the plot flows and everything is good and you get the tropes, then you know, okay, like, yeah, I feel good about this. But I would say just write.
Yeah, I think that's like probably the best advice. And just like, you know, also like, know you can do it. And I know everyone says like, oh, I don't know. Or like people say, I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. I think like it's in you. If you want to do it, it's in you. You have to just like kind of nurture it for a second. And I think taking that time to do it, you know, does nurture it. And like she said, it might suck at first, and that's okay. I mean, I think like, I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of all authors, but I can say that like my thought would be that like no one kicks it out of the park or hits it out of the park.
She's not a baseball person.
No one hits it out of the park like the first time. So I think it's okay to suck and then like find your rhythm.
Yeah. She's like, listen back to this podcast. We just said, how many times did we rewrite chapter 1? I mean, come on. You just have to keep going for it.
I love that. Okay, so what is next for you guys? We know you guys have a lot of things lined up in the future. So what's coming up for you?
Oh, we're so excited, honestly. So we have book 5 that's coming out, and we're currently writing that now. And we're really excited about it, but it's also super bittersweet because we want to finish it, and then at the same time, it's the last of the Morelli sisters. Yeah, so we're in that moment, and every time more words get added, I'm like, oh no, we're 100 words like closer to the end.
Oh, it's like bittersweet.
Yeah. So
no.
There's that. But then also really exciting because we're working on so many other things. Yeah. And we have the Christmas rom-com that's coming out in November, which we can't wait. We started plotting it already, and it's going to be so good. And we're so excited to share it with everyone.
I love that.
And then we've already planned next year's series. It's a brand new series.
Oh my God. She's
we
like,
cannot wait.
They're like, it's cousins. No. No, I'm just kidding. I love a good like Christmas
like
book.
A holiday book.
Yeah.
I love a good holiday book.
I'm so excited for that one. That's exciting.
Yeah. Well, Christmas, I mean, it's just you need to have a Christmas book. I feel like they are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to, I think like as a reader, you just need to like sit down and read, especially during that time. And you know, it makes it all better. So it's fun to write. And then you kind of like get pseudo Christmas going on when we write it like in the middle of the year, which is like super fun for us because we're like, oh, okay, you know, like let's play some Christmas music. And then
like it's July, who cares? Let's play it.
And they're like, what are you doing? It's July. Or like whatever it was. I think it was last year. And I was like, no, it's Christmas in July. And they're like, oh, sure.
They're like, no, we're getting in the mood. Don't mind our Christmas tree, okay? We're just
Exactly.
going to write a book.
I think we actually made hot cocoa last year, and we wore like ugly sweaters, and it was like a whole vibe. And she doesn't listen to music when she writes, but I do, and I like blast in Mariah Carey and stuff.
She's like, she
so.
is defrosting. She is defrosted. Let's get ready.
But so yeah, Christmas is just its own, I think, like its own fun. And
Yeah.
it's just, you know, there'll be like a tie-in. We decided, I think.
Yay!
Yes, we're gonna have a universe tie-in, and we're really excited about it. And we're gonna announce that soon. Yeah, because we can't wait. But yeah, because there was no way we're letting go of the universe we created.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, I'm so excited now. Okay, so before we wrap up, we have some rapid questions we want to ask you. Nothing too serious, just a little this or that kind of deal. If Better Left Unsaid was turned into a movie, who would you all cast as Maria and Dom?
Oh, Dom, I would say would be, and you know what I'm gonna say. What's his name? I have his face in my head. Michelle, that the Italian model actor. No,
Yeah, from 365 Days.
The
on
Massimo?
Oh my God, yes.
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 We're like so in
We're all
agreement
like, yes.
100% yes. No other.
Debbie Dom
and-
for sure. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
I know. For
And
Maria, oh, is it bad that we know the man and we're just like, that's him? And the woman is like, well, we'll see about auditions.
She's like,
Honestly, Dom is the only one that matters. so
she's
it's
like
fine.
one of the sisters. I have no idea which
Yeah.
who to cast.
It's a whole sister series, and I could tell you who would play the men, and doesn't say too much about us.
She's like, let's just get the 365 cast actually, and let's just
Yeah.
work with
We'll
that.
just use that.
I think Sophia Carson might be a good Maria, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. I think she would be good.
Sophia Carson,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw her in Purple Hearts, and I loved that movie. So.
I'd approve that.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I can-
actually
yeah.
really love that. I think that would work. I like her.
I love it.
Well, now we just need to put this in production now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Netflix, if you're listening, we
We'll
already
go-
have the cast.
We'll go
no
ahead
need
and
to hire someone.
We'll go ahead and tag the right people. Like, don't worry. No.
Exactly. HBO Max, you know what's up.
Well, it has to be HBO Max.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
gotta
the
be.
scenes.
Okay, so what is your current or last read?
Oh, mine was a like I don't know sleuth-ish. Janet Ivanovich. Oh, I'm like spacing. Motor Mouth. It's called,
Oh.
and I think it's Janet Ivanovich.
Yeah.
I like picture the yellow cover. It's actually like one of Danny's favorite books when she crosses like the line to read something that's like got mystery vibes, and she loves this book. I think she's read it like multiple times, and
I've been telling her to read it. But
yeah, and she busted
picked
it
it
out after the Indy 500. I don't know what that was about, and I saw it, and I was like, I'm gonna just borrow this because like there's something going on with this book that you keep reading. So that was my last read.
it's good. The man in it is absolutely amazing.
Oh my God,
Just
wait,
saying.
Motor Mouth. I am totally adding it to my TBR because, like, hello, this looks so good. Hold on. I'm like, hold on, let me just add this to my list. Okay, go ahead.
My last read was actually Aragon from Christopher Paolini.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
I watched the movie back in the day, but I never read the books. And then he has the new one that came out. And I figured now's as a good time as any to actually start the series.
Oh, I love that. We're actually going to do Aragon. That's one of our episodes we're going to do
Yeah.
coming up. We're doing like fantasy, like that's one of that we're going to read and watch. So I'm actually really excited. It's actually like,
Yeah.
really crazy because it's such a, not a one-off, but like people forget about that. And I'm like, we're going to do
You know,
this
it's
episode.
so good. And I saw there was only the one movie because I wanted to see, you know, like, did I miss something?
Mhm.
And I feel like it's like Crazy Rich Asians. It's the one movie and nothing else. And I still can't understand why.
Yeah. No. Yes. I'm actually really excited now because we haven't really told people, but I was like, I told my sister, I was like, okay, I threw Aragon in there and it was just kind of like, it's such a one-off, but it actually works. We're really excited for it.
I was so excited because I was telling her that we need to do more fantasy. And she was like, well, and I said, no, well, we're going to do it. So I was like, here's a list.
She's like, pick your choice.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is your guys' current favorite movie or TV show that you are currently watching or just watched?
I think, honestly, we rewatched Suits
I love Suits.
Suits is so
Recently.
good.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love it.
That show was amazing. And
Yeah.
Donna and Harvey, I mean,
Yeah.
we have a moment.
Yes, Harvey.
Seriously.
So I was actually going to say Suits, and I thought you were going to say something else. That Georgie and Mandy show.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that comes on every
I thought that
Thursday,
was
so
going to
in
be
my
your
head-
show that you were going to say. And then when you said Suits, I was like, wait, is she in my head?
Yeah. In my head, I only count shows I like binge. I sit down and like my eyes bleed watching that.
Yeah.
But I do every Thursday. I make time, or the next day when it hits the app, I make time to watch Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage because I love Emily Osment, and
Yeah.
the whole show is funny. Honestly, so funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just need something funny. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. What is your, since we're talking about rom-com real quick, what is your guys' #1 rom-com movie?
Yeah.
oh gosh, there's too many, but I think for me it's either The Proposal or Bride Wars.
Oh, I love
Oh my
both of
God, Bride Wars is so good.
Yeah, that's so
I mean,
good.
Kate Hudson can't do anything wrong.
No,
I mean, it's got Anne
really.
Hathaway.
We love Anne Hathaway.
We love Anne Hathaway. We talk about her so much. The Proposal is so good.
Yeah, that's a really good one too.
I love 10 Things I
love
Hate
that
About
one.
You.
I mean, every time it's on,
That's
I
probably
mean,
like
they
your
used to put it on-
999 movie. Yeah.
They used to put it on a lot, and every time it was on, I would put it on, and I'd always walk in on the scene where she would say like, "Why are you sweaty?" and he'd say like, "Why are you wet?"
Yes.
love it.
I think mine is 27 Dresses.
Oh,
There's,
that's
Oh,
Tips.
yes. I love that one.
That's her favorite
Yeah.
rom-com.
right?
My
I don't know.
God.
Katherine Heigl's another one though. She like dominates in that, and like that movie though. I mean, just I love. I don't know. It's funny. Always the Bridesmaid. I mean, it's just so classic. And
It's
Yeah.
she's
so
great.
good. And I love their dynamic, the two. They're
Oh,
I know.
when they're singing in the bar, like, come on.
Oh, that's
such a
like
good
Benny and the
scene.
Jets, come on.
That
It's
is
so
the best
good.
scene.
The
Yeah,
best.
every time it's on, we sing to it. So
Yes, you really can't not sing to it. It's just it's so good.
And we love James Marsden, so
Yes, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be this or that. He falls first or she falls first.
he
Falls
falls
first.
first.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes,
I agree with that.
Me too.
I love a he falls first. It's just I could just eat it up.
Yeah,
It's so
he
good.
falls first. Boy obsessed. Sign me up. He's always loved her. Yes,
Yearning.
yes.
Yes.
We need it.
It's always
Yeah.
they always make it the girl, but like no, let's have the guy fall first, please.
Yes,
Yes.
and let the
Yeah.
girl be oblivious to it
Yeah.
for like half the book because it makes it so much better.
Okay, found family or dysfunctional family?
Dysfunctional family.
Dysfunctional family. We like the drama.
Yeah, the drama.
ahead.
Okay, so cliffhanger or happily ever after?
Is the cliffhanger going to be
Like
like
wrapped
resolved?
Eventually, yes.
Eventually, yes, but yeah. Do you guys prefer
Yeah.
reading a book where there's a cliffhanger and you have to like wait
Wait.
to figure out what's gonna happen, or do you guys like
For
it
me,
when it's
no,
like
I think I like the happily ever after.
Yeah, I think I
Mhm.
need the happily ever after. There was a book that we both read back in the day by Jillian Dodd. I think it was. Is that boy? Is that what it's called?
Yes,
I think that left on some sort of like a
cliffhanger.
cliffhanger.
But it
theme.
evolved into like other ones, but it's
Yeah.
still never like
It never really like ended. It just kept ending on a cliffhanger, and then I think
Oh,
eventually
no.
I gave up.
you're like I can't anymore. I'm off the cliff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Okay, so I think I slow burn or instant heat.
Slow burn. I like to be tortured. No.
no.
Same.
And for me, it's opposite. It's insta heat. I think
Yeah, she likes instant gratification.
that's true.
She's like, we try to put our books at like a medium heat, like a
Yeah,
medium
just
high.
somewhere nice in the middle.
Yeah, when they slept together in book 3 right out of the gate, she was like, and then in book 4, she was like, yeah, I don't have to wait.
They're different. I mean, it's better.
And then
Sorry.
book 2 was such a slow burn. She was like, if they don't get together soon, I'm going to scream.
She's like,
yeah,
right-
I was like, I'm gonna give up writing this.
like, hello, when is this happening? Like, are we ever gonna do this or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that wraps up our episode of Page to Picture. Huge thank you to Dani Ryan for joining us. We hope you guys had fun. I know I had fun. This
Me
was
too.
great. I loved
So
everything
much
about
fun.
it.
So
Thank
much
you guys
fun.
so
This
much.
is amazing.
Dani Ryan, where can our listeners find you on social media? What is your guys' handle?
So we're mostly on Instagram, and it's Dani Ryan Books.
Yeah, and that's the handle up everywhere. Honestly,
Yeah,
if you're
sure.
searching, if you're searching, it's pretty much everywhere.
Perfect.
Love it. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Also follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at official page to picture to keep up with everything book related, movie adaptations, and more.
And on our Instagram, you will find our link tree, which includes all our podcasts, guest signups, and our new merch that we just launched.
Yes. So tune in next week as we talk about John Green's The Fault in Our Stars.
I'm actually really excited. I've never read that book or watched the movie. So
I read that book and I feel like when I read it, I shouldn't have read it at that time because I was like, this is really sad. And it put me in a sad girl vibes. So I was like, okay. So rereading it again is going to be interesting.
I'm very excited to do this. Before we go, can you guys share when your book, Better Left Unsaid, is released?
Yes, Better Left Unsaid comes out May 6th.
Oh, this is
my God, it's coming up.
Okay, thank you guys all for listening. Now go back and play some chess. And if you know, you know.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.